In the lush rainforests, coastal rivers, and ancient route of southern Nigeria lives one of West Africa's great cultural civilizations. A people whose language has echoed through centuries of migration, trade, spirituality, and storytelling. A language carried across rivers, across oceans, and across generations. This is the story of Ibibio language, one of the great voices of the cross-river world. The Ibibio people are among the largest ethnic groups in southern Nigeria. Today, they are found mainly in present-day Akwa Ibom State, though Ibibio-speaking communities also exist in parts of Cross River, Rivers, and Abia states. For centuries, the Ibibio lived within the fertile lands between forests, rivers, and the Atlantic coast. Their civilization developed around family compounds, village systems, trade networks, and spiritual traditions. The Ibibio are closely related to neighboring people such as the Efik, Anan, and Oro communities. Together, they form part of the larger lower cross-cultural world of southern Nigeria. The Ibibio language belongs to the Niger-Congo language family, one of the largest language families on earth. More specifically, it belongs to the lower cross branch of the cross-river languages. Ibibio forms part of the Ibibio-Efik language cluster, one of the most influential linguistic groups in southern Nigeria. Unlike many minority Nigerian languages, Ibibio has millions of speakers and remains very active in modern life. The language is used in radio broadcasting, churches, music, education, literature, and daily communication. Its survival reflects the cultural strength of the Ibibio people across generations. Oral traditions suggest that the ancestors of the Ibibio people migrated centuries ago from regions around present-day Cameroon into South Nigeria. Over time, communities settled across the Cross River Basin and coastal regions. The forests, rivers, and waterways of southern Nigeria shaped the development of Ibibio civilization. Fishing, farming, craftsmanship, and trade became central to survival and prosperity. Long before colonial rule, Ibibio communities maintained sophisticated systems of governance based on village councils, lineage groups, age grades, and powerful cultural institutions. Among the most important was the famous Ekpe Society. For centuries, the Ekpe Society played a major role in Ibibio and Efik society. Ekpe functioned as a political institution, a judicial system, a spiritual society, and a guardian of cultural law. Members used sacred symbols, ceremonies, marks, music, and coded communication. The influence of Ekpe spread far beyond Ibibio land through trade networks along the Cross River and Atlantic coasts. Even today, traces of Ekpe traditions survive ceremonial performances and cultural identity across southern Nigeria and parts of the African diaspora. One of the most remarkable achievements connected to the Ibibio Efi cultural world is Nsibidi. Nsibidi is an ancient symbolic writing system used among Cross River peoples for centuries. Unlike alphabetic writing, Nsibidi used symbols and ideograms to communicate meaning. The symbols appeared on walls, cloths, ceremonial objects, pottery, and secret society records. Historians consider Nsibidi one of Africa's oldest indigenous writing traditions. Long before colonial education system arrived, cross-river societies had already developed sophisticated methods of symbolic communication. Ibibio is also a tonal language like many African languages. This means changing the pitch of a word can completely alter its meaning. The language is known for smooth vowel flow, melodic rhythm, and expressive speech patterns. For generations, oral tradition served as the living library of Ibibio civilization. Folk tales, proverbs, songs, praise poetry, and ancestral histories preserved wisdom long before widely spread literacy. Storytelling became both education and entertainment. Even today, Ibibio proverbs remain famous for their philosophical depth and poetic beauty. Ibibio culture is rich in artistic expression. Traditional ceremonies feature music, drumming, dance, masquerade, wood carving, and colorful attire. Festivals unite entire communities through performance and ritual. Traditional music instruments accompany dances, marriages, births, and ancestral remembrance. Respect for elders and community identity remains central to Ibibio social life. Even modern Ibibio music continues to blend traditional rhythms with contemporary Nigerian sounds. During the Atlantic slave trade era, many people from the Cross River region were forcibly transported across the Atlantic. Within them traveled fragments of language, culture, music, and spirituality. Ibibio and related cross-river influences survived in parts of the Caribbean, Cuba, and the Americas. Some Ibibio-related words entered Afro-Caribbean traditions. Cultural societies influenced by cross-river traditions continue to exist today in parts of Cuba and the diaspora. Even far from home, the memory of Ibibio culture endured. Today, Ibibio remains one of Nigeria's strongest indigenous languages. It continues to thrive in homes, churches, schools, radio, literature, and popular culture. Yet, like many African languages, it also faces modern pressure from globalization and the dominance of English. Still, the language remains deeply tied to identity and pride among millions of speakers. For many Ibibio people, language is more than just communication. It is history, it is ancestry, and it is a memory. Like every living language, Ibibio carries warmth through everyday greetings. Some common Ibibio expressions include Mese, meaning good morning, Asere, meaning good evening, Abadie is how are you. These simple words continue to connect generations across homes and communities every day. Across the forest, rivers, and coastal lands of southern Nigeria, the voice of Ibibio continues to endure. A language of ancient memory, a language of resilience, a language carried across centuries. The story of Ibibio is not only the story of a people, but the story of one of Africa's great cultural civilizations. And as long as its people continue to speak, sing, and remember, the voice of Ibibio will never fade.